Pat Caddell is a former Democratic pollster, a Democrat.
And a liberal Democrat.
Who has taken a hard look. How are you, Pat?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You
know what, Pat, I am so heartened to see a man who is a liberal Democrat, been in the party forever, come out and say, okay, wait, this isn't making sense on what they're saying. Do you believe that it makes sense that they're trying to collapse the system?
No, I don't buy necessarily the ideological part, although the conclusion may get there. I think they're flooding the zones, to use a football metaphor. I prefer that. I mean, your viewers probably understand that. Send out so many things, and nobody can cover it all. But I've got to tell you what bothers me, Glenn, which is a question that should be asked. I was with an administration, president comes in, a new president who had not been experienced in Washington, and there have been pent-up demands. But 6 months in, people were still trying to find where the bathrooms were.
Right.
They've got a lot of people still not appointed. Where did all of these pieces of programs come in this kind of detail? Where do you get 1,000 pages or 1,300 pages, one after the other?
One after another.
In such a short amount of time. Those are questions that somebody ought to ask, because it's the dog that's not barking here.
Well, we have asked those questions, and I'm going to give you some answers here at the other half of the break, and I think you know what some of those answers are. I asked that question back in February and March. I said, this is too massive. It's too big, and the media is treating these things as if they're just magically appearing, but they're not.
You mean like the deficit that appeared Friday, the magical one, they pushed the button, and lo and behold, it was only $2,000 billion off from what it was? Who's running the show here? I mean, you've got to stop. For the first time, I've had to ask myself, is Barack Obama really in control? Either he's disingenuous, which I wish not to believe about the President of the United States, or maybe the question is, who's really in control here? And so it's a time to ask that question.
Explain, what makes you say that again?
He has said, my policy is, look, the Attorney General is appointed by him. I mean, and by the way, confirmed by Republicans who stood there and praised him. Let's understand, this thing over here you did is not one party. This was everybody did this, and they're still doing it.
I think it's on Wednesday. We're doing some things on some of the framework that's been put in. It was put in by the Bush administration. This is Washington is corrupt.
Washington is corrupt. Washington has made itself the enemy of the American people, is what's happening. But let me not stray off your point, which is what I said was, Eric, the president said we're going to move on. The country said move on the interrogation policy. Eric Holder announces he's going to have a special prosecutor today. He's under pressure from the ACLU, from MoveOn.org, from many of the very, very most liberal groups in my party, or I consider extreme groups in my party.
Sure.
Would
you agree with me that there is a new Democratic Party?
That's a subject we need to get. I am of the Democrats of the common man. That's where I come from. This is a different Democratic Party, and hopefully over this time we'll have some time to talk about it.
Would you say it's a revolutionary?
No, I would say it's revolutionary only since it's elitist. It's elitist, and it believes that it knows best, and it is so interconnected. And money has made it, and it is, and you know, you got people like George Soros in the middle of it, and you know, and Rob Emanuel. I mean, the people you've got.
Pat, you said to me during the break, it's all about the money.
It's all about the money. It is about the money, folks. Follow the money. Just, you know, the movie. It's all very simple. The unions. The question the gentleman asked is about why the unions, who used to be not for green jobs and not for the environment because they were afraid of losing industrial jobs. Why are they for it? Well, first of all, because they're going to get more jobs, and because they've got a deal. The stimulus deal was, and the head of the L.A. County Development said this about the stimulus, said, oh, wait a minute, because we're putting in these union rules, these special rules that say you have to pay prevailing wage, which is 50% higher than what the market wage is on construction jobs, that means that you get half the construction projects that you had. Got that, folks? Then you get ACORN. You know, you can't leave out the other part of this, the ACORN funding. And
business.
Oh, let me tell you. Look at cap and trade. Look, this is about looting the people who are looting the country. And they include they're not Democrats, these are people who are looting the country, and that they are doing it because either to feather their causes or their own interests, and the people who want to hold on to power. They will do anything to hold on to power.
Would you as a Democrat, would you ever put a guy like this in advising the President of the United States, an avowed communist?
Well, no, I'm stunned. I don't even understand how he got through an FBI investigation, except you told me they'd call the FBI off investigating them, which I don't understand.
Joe,
the question is, where do they come? But this question about this money stuff, don't you understand? It's all payoff going on. People want power and people want money, and the country is going, and the people believe it's going over the edge.
America.